Are you thinking about volunteering with Pollination Guelph? As our workload increases, PG has to recruit more volunteers to help with planting and maintenance of the pollinator habitat that we have established or assumed responsibility for in Guelph. As a volunteer, you would help weed, water, put in new plants, divide existing plants, collect seeds, and more. In this video, we will give details on what you can expect if you sign up to be a volunteer and where you can go for more information. We will also show you images of the sites in Guelph that we actively maintain. Getting involved with PG. Here's what you can expect if you want to volunteer with PG. You would email pollinationguelph@gmail.com expressing your interest in volunteering. A volunteer coordinator would then get in touch to learn more about which sites and the kind of work you are interested in helping with. Your name would then be added to the appropriate contact lists. Then, each weekend during the gardening season, we would circulate a schedule of gardening sessions via email and Facebook for the coming week. Sessions are usually 2 to 3 hours long, but volunteers are free to arrive and leave according to the time they have available. Depending on the progress of the spring thaw, the sessions usually get underway in late April or early May and conclude by the end of October. As a volunteer, you are welcome to attend any session. However, we encourage you to identify 1 or 2 sites on which to focus your volunteer time, perhaps one close to home, easily accessible after work, or where the scheduling works well for you. Volunteering consistently at a particular site will mean that you become familiar with the plants and the care that they need over a season. Most sessions at a given site are held on a consistent day and time so that volunteers can schedule them into their calendars. If it is necessary to cancel a session because of bad weather, a message is circulated by email and Facebook no later than 30 minutes prior to the scheduled start time. Pollination Guelph has a small collection of gardening tools for use by volunteers, but we ask that whenever possible, volunteers bring their own hand tools and that these tools be clearly marked to identify the owner. In addition to hand tools, volunteers should plan to bring water, sunscreen, a hat, gardening gloves, and to dress for the weather and the possibility of muddy conditions. We welcome volunteers with all levels of gardening expertise, from beginners to those with professional training. If you are new to gardening or to one of our sites, you will be paired with a more experienced volunteer who can orient you to the plantings and the tasks for the day. Spending time as a Pollination Guelph gardening volunteer is a great way for you to learn more about plants, gardening, and the conditions that help pollinating insects survive and thrive. All this while also enjoying the company and friendship of others who share your interest. Volunteers with PG take pride in contributing to efforts to add essential pollinator habitat to the area and support the city of Guelph as a bee city. Next, we will discuss PG's planting sites. You can see a full list of PG's pollinator habitat sites on our website at pollinationguelph.ca/gardens. On this page, you will see a map of each of their locations, their addresses, and if you scroll down, you can see a brief description and some photos of each site. At present, we actively maintain 5 of these sites, which are spread out throughout the city. I will now go through each of these sites in a bit more detail. Beginning at the north end of Guelph, we have Riverside Park and the Trans-Canada Trail Gardens. There are 3 beds on the west side of Riverside Park adjacent to the recreational trail. These beds are close to the southern end of the park and the river. They contain a variety of shrubs, flowering perennials, and grasses that attract pollinating insects. If you follow the trail south and across Speedville Avenue, there are beds with interpretive signage that we have planted on each side of the trail. Again, these have a variety of native shrubs and flowering plants. Next, we have the Eastview Pollinator Park on Watson Parkway. At this location, we are trialing the development of a grassland on part of the decommissioned landfill. This is a multi-year project that volunteers are not directly involved in at the moment. However, the park is also the site of the Remediate Garden designed and installed by local artists Christina Kingsbury and Anna Bowen. This garden, which was started from seeds embedded in a quilt of handmade paper, is also the site of arts-related events and activities organized by Christina and Anna. Next, we move to 795 Scottsdale Drive and find the Gosling Pollinator Gardens at Hospice Wellington. This is a 9,000 square foot, well-established garden densely planted with trees, shrubs, perennials, and grasses that provide color and beauty for the enjoyment of residents and staff of the facility. The plants have been chosen to meet the habitat needs of pollinating insects found in this part of Ontario. In this garden, we show how plants native to Ontario can also be used to create landscaping that is appropriate to a domestic or institutional property. The electorate offices at 395 Southgate Drive are the site of a pollinator garden in a large parking lot drainage swale. One half of the swale was planted in 2013 and has been actively maintained by Pollination Guelph ever since. The other half will be planted in spring 2022, adding another 1,500 square feet of pollinator habitat. The focus of this new section will be on native woody plants and grasses, especially those that offer forage for caterpillars of butterflies which frequent the area. Finally, we have Clare Road Emergency Services Center, aka CRESC. This is PG's most southerly site, located at 160 Clare Road West. In collaboration with the City of Guelph, we are working to restore and maintain a large meadow of flowering perennials, native grasses, and shrubs. Currently, the focus is on removing invasive plants and adding to the diversity of native grasses and other perennials on the site. If you are not a gardener but still want to get involved, there are lots of other ways to volunteer with Pollination Guelph. You can help run PG displays at community events, give presentations, help post on social media, update outreach material, or even join PG's board of directors. For more information, please visit our website, pollinationguelph.ca. If you would like to register as a volunteer, please get in touch through our email, pollinationguelph@gmail.com. We look forward to welcoming you to the Pollination Guelph planting sites.